Narad Muni is summarizing the whole pastime that has been discussed over 10 chapters. Is the pastime of the greatest devotee, Prahlad Maharaj, and his devotion for Lord Nrsimhadev, which came together in the form of his beautiful prayers. So all of these are finally summarized here in just a few verses by Narad Muni. So first he says that in this narration about Krishna, so he points out that these narrations were about Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Various incarnations and expansions or incarnations of the Lord have been described. And the killing of two demons, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, has also been described. So basically the first summary point he mentions is that there is description of the incarnations and the killing of the two demons, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Then he says that this narration also describes the characteristics of the great and exalted devotee Prahlad Maharaj. Now, interestingly, as we had highlighted several times, Prahlad Maharaj is a disciple of Narad Muni because he heard everything that is to be known within the womb of his mother. And clearly, Narad Muni here is extolling his own disciple, Prahlad Maharaj. You can think like that. His staunch devotional service, his perfect knowledge, and his perfect detachment from material contamination. It also describes the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the cause of creation, maintenance, and annihilation. Of course, that came in the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj in his prayers has described the transcendental qualities of the Lord and has also described how the various abodes of the demigods and demons, regardless of how materially opulent, are destroyed by the mere direction of the Lord. So in these verses, 43 and 44, we are getting to learn about, first of all, the characteristics of the exalted devotee Prahlad Maharaj, then Prahlad's staunch devotional service, his perfect knowledge, and perfect detachment from material desires. So this is coming in verse number 43. Like these are the two things. The characteristic of the greatest devotee Prahlad Maharaj and his staunch devotional service and his perfect detachment. Then he furthermore says that the narration also highlights the qualities of the Supreme Lord. It establishes the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the cause of creation, maintenance, and annihilation of the universe. And it also brings out the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Lord. And not only that, the various abodes of demigods and demons, they are shown how they are eventually going to be destroyed. In other words, they are all temporary. However materially opulent they may be, they are all going to be subjected to the force of time. And in the 45th verse, he's bringing out two more additional points, and they are that we understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead through Bhagavad Dharma. That's the means for understanding the Supreme Lord. And what is the ultimate transcendental position? The actual transcendence is captured by this narration, which deals with these principles. So in this narration, therefore, which deals with these principles, actual transcendence is properly described. So in this way, Narad Muni is bringing out 13 salient points that got highlighted as a part of the description that happened over 10 chapters. He's just beautifully summarizing them. Now let's look at the purports of Srila Prabhupada. So purport number 42, Srila Prabhupada brings out the aim of Krishna consciousness movement. It may look a little strong, look like a strong statement. The Krishna consciousness movement is spreading all over the world with two aims. And what are the two aims? To establish Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And secondly, to kill all the all the pretenders who falsely present themselves um, as avatars. Now, why I said it's strong, because Prabhupada is using the term kill all the pretenders. So here, of course, Prabhupada's point is to kill the mentality. Okay, not so much about actually creating violence in the society. So kill all the pretenders who falsely present themselves as avatars. The preachers of the Krishna consciousness movement must carry this conviction very carefully within their hearts and kill the demons who, in many tactical ways, vilify the Supreme Personality of God Krishna. So, kill here means to defeat their propaganda. If we take shelter of Narsingadev and Prahlad Maharaj, it will be easier to kill the demons who are against Krishna and to thus re-establish Krishna's supremacy. Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam. Krishna is the Supreme Lord, the original Lord. Prahlad Maharaj is our Guru and Krishna is our worshipable God. As advised by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Beach. If we can be successful in getting the mercy of Prahlad Maharaj and also that of Narsingadev, then our Krishna consciousness movement will be extremely successful. So this is essentially the focus of this summary, that it brings our attention back to the Supreme Lord and simultaneously his pure devotee Prahlad Maharaj. And in purport number 43 and 44, Prabhupada's message is highlighting Srimad Bhagavatam's preeminent position. They say Srimad Bhagavatam is Amala Puranam. Simply by understanding Srimad Bhagavatam, one can understand the signs of the activities of the devotees, the activities of the demons, the permanent abode and the temporary abode. Through Srimad Bhagavatam, everything is perfectly known. So 4 things essentially, okay? Activities of the devotees, activities of the demons, and understand that ultimately only the spiritual world is not subjected to the influence of time and therefore it is permanent. But any other abode, even to the extent of the highest personality in this universe, it doesn't matter, wherever you go, you're only going to find temporary conditions. And therefore, how do we know that? It is through Srimad Bhagavatam. And the 45th verse purport, Prabhupada is writing, Prahlad Maharaj, the spiritual master in the line of disciplic succession, advised that this Bhagavad Dharma be instructed to students from the very beginning of their education. So that came in the 6th chapter of the 7th canto, like the first verse itself. Kaumara Acharit Pragyo Dharman Bhagavataniha. So in other words, you can see the logical flow here. First, the 4 topics were highlighted, like the activities of the demigods, activities of the devotees, activities of the demons, and the permanent and impermanent nature of Krishna's abode and demigods' abode in this material sphere respectively. And then how do we know this? We know this through Srimad Bhagavatam. When should the Srimad Bhagavatam be introduced? It should be introduced in the very beginning of our life. Kaumara Acharit Pragyo. To understand the science of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the real purpose of education. This is a very nice statement. What is the real purpose of education? To understand the science of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, one must simply hear about and describe Lord Vishnu and his various incarnations. That's how we understand the science of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, so now finally in the 2 verses, 46 and the 47, blessings are coming out. Phala Stuti. Like, what is in it for all of us who had been very patiently hearing the pastimes of Prahlad Maharaj and Lord Narsingadev. So number 1, the point is that one who hears and chants this narration about the omnipotence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu is certainly liberated from material bondage without fail. So one is no longer influenced by the glitters of this material world. That's the number 1 fruit. And the second is that that those who hear this pastime with attention will attain the spiritual world. So it's already established that there is no place in the whole material universe which is going to give us permanence. The only place that is going to give us permanence is the spiritual abode. And the gateway to enter the spiritual abode is opened by hearing with attention this particular description that went on for 10 chapters. So Prahlad Maharaj was the best among exalted devotees. Anyone who with great attention hears this narration concerning the activities of Prahlad Maharaj, the killing of Hiranyakashipu, and the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Nrsingadev surely reaches the spiritual world where there is no anxiety. What an amazing benediction here. So these two things are always coming together in the lives of the devotees. The progressive detachment from this material world, which is essentially getting liberated from material bondage, and attraction getting generated in the heart towards entering the supreme abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These two things are simultaneously there. Like there is repulsion from this material world and attraction towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And as we progress in our sadhana, applying that force essentially in our spiritual life, we will surely get there by the mercy of exalted devotees like Prahlad Maharaj and those who are active in our life. So thank you very much.